Hello, welcome back to our channel, where we talk about health and fitness. This is episode 9 of the series, How to Start Your Fat Loss Journey.
Have you ever felt like to get in shape, you have to basically put your entire life on hold? No restaurants, no parties, no family dinners. Well, today we're going to completely tear that idea apart, because losing fat doesn't mean you have to give up your life. It just means you need a better strategy. Okay, let's start right here, because this is the foundation for everything we're about to talk about. Success isn't about hiding away. It is not about waiting until you hit some magic number on the scale to start living again. The real secret, it's integration. It's about weaving your health goals into the fabric of the life you already have and love. So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to tackle the biggest mental block, this all or nothing myth. Then we'll get super practical with a social survival guide. After that, we'll dive into the tricky stuff, work, family, and food. And finally, we'll get to the most important piece of the puzzle, building an identity that lasts. Right, let's jump into this first big hurdle. This is that little voice in your head that says you're either on a diet and you have to be a perfect hermit, or you're off the diet and living your life. You know what? This false choice is probably the #1 reason people give up. It just sets an impossible standard. So, and this is really the crucial point, avoidance is a really weak strategy. I mean, you can't avoid life forever, right? A strong strategy, though, that lets you walk into life confidently. It's the difference between fearfully saying no to everything and calmly knowing exactly what you're gonna do when you say yes. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty, starting with what is probably the biggest challenge for most people, having a social life. The good news is, you absolutely do not have to become a recluse. You just need a playbook. See, going to a restaurant isn't the problem. Going in without a plan is. What's so great about this is how simple these steps are. Step 1, it just removes that in-the-moment stress. Step 2 buys you a little bit of calorie flexibility. Step 3, ordering first, that protects you from being influenced by everyone else. And Step 4 puts you in control of all those hidden calories. This isn't about restriction, it's about preparation. And this just brilliantly shows that you've got great options almost everywhere. Not sure what to get? Boom! Here are some go-to orders. At a Mexican place, a burrito bowl is perfect. Italian, you can always find grilled fish with a red sauce. You don't have to be the person who just orders a boring side salad. There are satisfying, on-plan meals in every single cuisine. Okay, let's talk about alcohol, because just telling people not to drink doesn't work for most of us. A harm reduction approach? That actually works. The key is deciding your limit before you start drinking, when your willpower is at its peak. Then you choose smarter options, you stay hydrated, and you remember that the real damage often comes from the late-night pizza that follows, not necessarily the drinks themselves. Oh man, we've all been there. That friend who insists you have just one bite. Having a script ready is a total game changer. For someone you don't know well, a simple, "No, I'm good, thanks," works. But for the people who really matter, being honest and a little vulnerable like this is so effective. It reframes your choice from "I'm rejecting your food" to "I'm asking for your support." Now let's move from our social lives to our daily lives. This is where the real grind happens, right? It's where a lack of a system can lead to relying on takeout and whatever's in the vending machine. You know, when people hear meal prep, they picture dozens of those identical little plastic containers. Forget that. The goal of meal prep isn't to have a perfect Instagram photo, it's to reduce the number of decisions you have to make every day. In just 1 hour on a Sunday, you can cook a big batch of a protein, a carb, and prep some veggies. That's it. Now you have the building blocks to throw together a healthy meal in like 3 minutes all week long. This concept right here is a total lifesaver for anyone with a family. The old way is you become a short order cook, right? Making one meal for them and then a separate, sad diet meal for yourself. The strategic way, you make one meal for everyone. Tacos, pasta, whatever. The only thing that changes is how you build your own plate. And here's what that looks like. It's a perfect visual. Same food, same meal, just different priorities. Your plate is built around your protein and veggie goals. Your family's plate, maybe it has a bit more carbs, maybe some extra butter. Everyone eats together, everyone's happy, and you stay on track with 0 extra work. It's brilliant. Now, this is a tough one, but we have to talk about it. Sometimes the people closest to us are the least supportive. The key here is to be direct, but not combative. State your needs clearly, and then you have to accept that you can't force them to join you. And remember, especially if you have kids, What you do is so much more powerful than what you say. They are watching you take care of yourself, and that is a lesson that will stick with them forever. Okay, so we've covered the external strategies. Now let's talk about the internal game, because this is what makes it last forever. This is the big shift from I'm on a diet to I'm just a person who takes care of my body. So how do we make this whole thing sustainable? We have to abandon the idea of perfection and embrace the 80-20 rule. And what does that actually look like in a real week? Well, it means out of 21 meals, about 17 of them are aligned with your goals. The other 4, those are for date night, for pizza with the kids, for that piece of birthday cake at the office. This is not cheating. This is planned flexibility. And here's the best part. Let's look at the math. People think that any flexibility is going to kill their progress. It doesn't. If you're in a 500-calorie daily deficit, but a few of your flexible meals go a little bit over, you are still in a massive weekly deficit. You're still losing about 3/4 of a pound. Progress is a little bit slower, sure, but it's infinitely more sustainable. This is the big aha moment. Flexibility is a feature, not a bug. And this brings us to the ultimate goal. The identity shift is when the struggle just disappears. It's when you stop having to use willpower to go to the gym or choose the protein-rich meal. You just do it. Why? Because that's who you are now. The actions have become a part of your character. So how do you build this new identity? Well, it's one vote at a time. It's not about some grand gesture. It's about thousands of tiny little choices. Every healthy meal, every workout, every time you take the stairs, it's a small piece of evidence you're showing your brain that says, see, this is who I am. And over time, that evidence becomes overwhelming. So to wrap it all up, first, you swap avoidance for strategy. Second, you build a shield with simple plans for social events and family life. Third, you embrace that 80-20 rule so you can have flexibility without guilt. And finally, you cast a vote for your new identity with every single choice you make. And this brings us right back to where we started. This is the core message. It is not a choice between your health and your happiness or your goals and your life. The real work and the real victory is finding that beautiful harmony where they all fit together. So I'll leave you with this one thought. Every single thing you do today is a vote. It's a vote for staying the same, or it's a vote for becoming the person you truly want to be. The power isn't in some far-off day when you'll finally start. It's in the very next choice you make. So who are you casting your vote for?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel, which give us motivation to make better content for you. See you in the next video.